Wonderful. Okay, welcome again to the 2022 Hawk Tank Business Plan Competition. We are here live at Fort Lewis College. We have our partners from San Juan College in-house. Tomorrow night, we'll be on San Juan College's campus in Farmington, New Mexico for another information session. So if any of your friends are interested, please have them reach out to me, or you can reach out to me on their behalf, and I'll give you the URL. And you can also find that online at fortlewis.edu/HawkTank or sanjuancollege.edu/HawkTank for additional information about tomorrow's information session, which will be a repeat of today. What do we want to do today? We want to talk a little bit about what the goals are of Hawk Tank. We want to talk about what you need in order to who our participants are. We want to talk about what you might be able to win. We want to talk about mentors. We want to talk about judges. We want to talk about the Hawk Tank Business Plan Competition, which is the Four Corners premier business plan competition. So when we started Hawk Tank 7 or 8 years ago, we had a number of goals in mind. One of the chief goals was getting you all in front of individuals that were business leaders, community leaders, so you could pitch your business idea. We also are interested in sort of having you take that idea and taking it the next step. We also want to get you money, so you can perhaps take that idea and actually do something with it, whatever you envision. Those are the goals of Hawk Tank, and that's what we're trying to achieve. In terms of who can participate, it is all Fort Lewis College students, all San Juan College students. We also have, if you are a recent alumni from Fort Lewis College, so you've graduated in the last 5 years, you are also eligible to compete with the recent alumni track. We also have a high school track. Now, what are the sizes of the teams? For the college and recent alumni track, you can have a team of up to 5 individuals. Only the leader of the team has to be from Fort Lewis College or San Juan College. So what does that mean? It's like the real world. You can put together any team you want to. Your mom is an awesome graphic designer. Get her on your team, okay? Your buddy in Oklahoma is a finance whiz. Get them on your team. Okay, so that's what we have. Now, if you're interested in the high school track, a little bit different. And what we look for there is you can have a team up to 3, and we're looking for all the team members to be from the same high school. So for example, if you're interested in competing and you're from Durango High School, then you can compete by yourself, or you can go tap 2 of your friends, and actually they can work with you, work on your business plan, and you all can compete together and hopefully walk away with thousands of dollars in scholarships and possibly hundreds of dollars in cash prizes also. The general requirements are this: businesses have to be less than a year old. And what we're looking for is new ideas. We're looking for you to take that idea to the next step. We're looking for original work. So you're interested in starting a Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory franchise, which is awesome. We love Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory, but this competition is not for you. Perhaps our franchise course where you can win a Rocky Mountain Chocolate franchise, maybe that's the right sort of avenue for you. But for Hawk Tank, we're looking for original work, original ideas. Like I said before, if you're doing the college track or the recent alumni, you have to be a current student or you have to be a recent alumni. In terms of what industries are not allowed, one, for all tracks are no marijuana industries. How did we come on this? Well, this actually really comes from the federal government, because marijuana is still illegal. Banks are not able at this time to touch money from the marijuana industry. And so we're really following our lead from the financial services industry. Now, if you're interested, let's say you have a hemp product, you actually can, in fact, do that because of the federal regulations and how banks are allowed to actually work with those companies. If you're a high school team, Marijuana is still not allowed, but also no alcohol. And the reason why is because I assume most of the high school participants, if not all, are under 21 and are not of legal age. So those are really the only sort of limitations in terms of what industries and what types of businesses. I'll show you a little in a couple of minutes. We have business ideas across the spectrum. We've had winners from almost every industry. And so it does not matter what your idea is. It doesn't matter sort of what this problem you're trying to solve. There is a place for you in Hawk Tank and in this program. Any questions, y'all? Anything? That's good. Okay. Since the beginning of Hawk Tank, we have awarded over $85,000 in cash to individuals just like you. We've awarded cash prizes to students in, you name the discipline, public health, biology, as well as within the business school. That is exactly how Hawk Tank has been designed. Hawk Tank has been designed to lift you up no matter where you are, no matter what your background is, no matter what your experience is. And we'll talk more about that, the types of workshops we have, the type of individuals you will have direct access to help you with your business idea. So let's talk about some of the past winners. And we actually even have a couple of winners with us today to kind of share their experiences. So let's talk about our first year. Second place team fills the plate. They're a farm. What did they do with their second place winnings? That's it. They drove to the Midwest, bought an old tractor, and they increased their efficiency, I don't know, 2 or 3-fold. They right now are producing tens of thousands of produce for the Durango and Four Corners area. If you've gone to Seasons in Durango, you probably had their vegetables. If you've gone to Grassburger, you probably had their vegetables in Durango, Albuquerque. Ken and Sue's, you probably had it. You've gone to the Durango Farmers Market. Your kids go to Durango 9R. We have a Durango High School student in the house. You've had fills the plate for your lunch. Hawk Tank graduates. 2017 winner, Nitram Paint, Martin Brothers, public health student, accounting student. One of the brothers was doing contracting work, saw contractors, or at least heard about the challenge they were having with disposing latex paint, which led some contractors to dispose of them perhaps as not so environmentally friendly. So what did they do? They came up with a solution to that problem. They didn't actually, when they started, I don't know if they knew what the solution was. What was the solution? They partnered with with a company down in Arizona. They started Nitram Paint, and Nitram Paint is a recycled latex paint company. So that's in fact that's what they did. When they won Hawk Tank, fast forward 6 months, they were already processing thousands of gallons of paint, saving it from landfills, saving it from perhaps just poured in the earth, solving a problem. Native Adventures, 2017, did not place, we're finalists. What was the idea? The idea was the student came from California. And when he was growing up, he found that there weren't a lot of programs, summer programs, after school programs that were culturally appropriate for his tribe as well as his community. And so guess what? He started a company to solve that problem. And he brought that back to his community. Rendezvous Donut. If you've been in the Durango area, anytime in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe you had a Rendezvous Donut. Founded by Charlie Shue, an engineering student. grew up in Atlanta making, must have been amazing donuts because Rendezvous donuts were amazing. Did Hawk Tank, did not even make the finals. However, because of his access to resources, because of the access to mentors, guess what, Charlie, he went all in. When he graduated with his engineering degree, he started Rendezvous Donut right across the street from the train station. Now, after 6 or 8 months, unfortunately, Charlie had to shut down. But if you ask Charlie about that experience, if he was a winner or not, he will always go with the former. Because of that experience, because of the lessons he learned, he got that great engineering job. He's been able to sort of move on and really focus on and leverage these skills that he learned through Hawk Tank as well as at Fort Lewis College. Here's one. Hot air balloon company, winner of 2018. What was the idea here? The idea here was, and actually came from the Netherlands. So what did they do is they were traveling, they saw this idea, said, hey, why don't we bring this back to the Four Corners? And so the idea was a hot air balloon company, always time to fly, but they provided a 4 to 5 star experience. And so you would come in a nice shuttle or limousine. You would have these are the 2 students. You would have a fine meal, champagne, strawberries in a hot air balloon. That was the idea. Tristan from Albuquerque. Shocker, right? Okay. Awesome idea. Love it. And here's another one, thinking out of the box. I believe this student was either a freshman or sophomore when she won Hawk Tank. So once again, it does not matter what majors as well as what class you're currently in, what year you're in. Here was this idea, blossoms and brews. Very interesting. So her idea was to have a bar, but enable the patrons, when they've had a few drinks, to put together flower arrangements for their loved ones and for their families. Seriously, there's lots of laughters here, y'all. That was the idea. Totally crazy, totally out of the box, and she walked away with $5,000 cash for that idea. Anything is possible, y'all. Anything is possible. 2020. We have parent space case, and we're gonna invite Taylor Altman up here just in a couple seconds to share just a couple words, maybe his experience, a couple words of advice would be nice. And then we also had, for our recent alumni track, we had Dead Room Comedy. So parent space case, well, we'll let Taylor explain that, but let me take Dead Room Comedy. So Dead Room Comedy, it was started by a number of Fort Lewis graduates, and they are a comedy troupe out of Denver. I would argue, and I'm biased, is they are the top comedy troupe in Denver right now. During the pandemic, once again, I may be making this a little bit bigger than it was. I believe they kept really comedy alive in Denver. They are that active. When they had a Four Corners comedy show, okay, one of their members headlined it, okay? They're doing amazing stuff on social media with TikTok, Facebook, as well as their live shows. And so they're an entertainment company. Taylor Altman, why don't you come on up? So Taylor Altman, not only did he get second place, but in 2019 actually won Hawk Tank. Just have so many positive things to say about you, Taylor. I'm just so really feel blessed that you're here today. Why don't you first of all share a little bit about what is Parent Space Case to start, and then I'll ask another question or two.
So the space case was a solution for protecting these expensive mountain bikes that many of us have in our community. And I had traveled back from Denver after a spring break, and my bike got mucked up. So I started thinking of a solution of how to solve that problem and came up with an enclosed bike rack made of aluminum that more or less was, I was thinking, would look like it were just pulled off the back of the Mars rover and have a very spacey look, along with provide more space for storage in your bicycle. So do you want to keep going with that, or?
No, it's great.
Please.
So do you have any advice for participants? What if you had to give 1 or 2 pieces of advice, what would it be?
That spreadsheet is worth $10,000 in itself. I think that is overlooked by a lot of people who, you know, are thinking about participating. Some of the resources are just so fantastic. The mentorship was really fantastic. And then once again, the spreadsheet, it's mapped out and very intuitive, easy to use. I thought gosh, that really helped me grasp what it takes to build a business plan, at least on the financial side. And it was just such a great tool that I still use to this day and have helped, you know, some other friends that have business ideas, and kind of had this great tool that I've used time and time again.
Awesome. So what's Taylor's story? So Taylor is graduating when?
This May.
This May. Taylor originally was thinking about actually buying a bicycle shop, and that's sort of where he saw his path. I would say, thankfully, you were trained really well here. And after he did his due diligence and he did his assessment, he did not think that was perhaps the best choice for him and his future. And what's so great is that Taylor is staying in Durango because he was offered a job, got a job at Baird Wealth Management, our presenting sponsor. And so we're just thrilled for Taylor, and really thank you for coming.
Yeah,
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay, who else? Let's try 2021. Second place winner, Z's Performance. And we've asked the owner and founder, Zeb, to join us today. Why don't you come up, Zeb? So Zeb, why don't you tell, with 30-second elevator pitch, what is Z's Performance?
If you drive a car, have anything with engines and wheels on it, pretty much we work on it. We'll build you anything you can dream of and work on anything that has wheels. Whether that be a race car or an old school bus or anything that you can dream of. If you can dream it, we can build it.
That's so awesome. I've actually used Zeb already personally. Just phenomenal service. So where's your business right now?
So currently right now I do work out of my house, and I also do mobile work, but some news that no one else really knows yet is I have a shop that I'm moving into in the next 6 months. In Bodo Park in Durango. So that's pretty huge, especially finding warehouse space. A lot of it was from connections I made in the business program at Fort Lewis and through Hawk Tank, especially with Michael Valdez here.
Sure.
One class I took with him actually introduced me to my realtor who found me this shop, so it kind of just comes full circle. So I have nothing but good things to say about Hawk Tank, and I mean, if you put in the work, you'll get out of it what you put into it.
Okay, so that's one bit of advice. What's another sort of piece of advice you might be able to give to participants that are out there that maybe are nervous about even doing it? If they feel like, oh man, I just don't have the background. I don't know what to do. I'm scared.
Kind of send it. Like, that's just what I do. You know, you can figure it out as you go. And if you got to go backwards and redo stuff, then that's what you got to do. Just as long as you're making progress forward or in a path that you want to go,
Sure,
then that's what counts.
and I think one thing to also remember is this is totally risk-free, right? It doesn't, like, there's no risk, right? The only risk is you're gonna learn something. Like, that's it. Please, question.
Are you guys both business majors?
Yes,
Yes.
both of them are business majors. Yeah.
We've competed against each other for 3.5 years and taken every class together. So it's been a while, just neck and neck. So, but yeah, I mean, there's no risk with Hawk Tank. I mean, what's the worst that can happen is people are gonna be like, well, you need to improve your business plan, come back next year.
Yep.
But you're gonna find people that share the same passions as you, and you're also gonna find people that, you know, you can see what they do and do the opposite. Learn something from everyone, even if it's what not to do.
Cool. Awesome, Zeb. Thank you so much, sir. Great. Let's talk about another 2021. And let's talk about the grand prize winners last year. Okay. Zia Drones. Last year walked away with $10,000 cash. The idea is they are graduates of San Juan College's awesome GIS program. And they had this idea that they wanted to use drones to help oil and gas, to help residential needs. And with their wings, they actually purchased a number of software. And right now they're active, very successful. You can check out ziadroneoperations.com if you want to check them out. If you're ever looking for some drone services, I highly recommend them. And really, they raised the bar. And it really shows because they weren't part of the business school. Were they, They were not even part of the San Juan College Business School, but they had a great idea. They had tremendous technical capabilities, and all they needed was that support to figure out how to put in the back end so they could actually do the business. And that's what Hawk Tank is all about. That's it. That's what we're looking to do. Okay. Even if maybe you don't have a solution, but you just have a problem you want to solve in your community, that's what Hawk Tank is about. Okay. That is what Hawk Tank is about.
They will be at our presentation tomorrow night.
And yeah, and Zio Drones will be at San Juan College tomorrow night. So if you're interested in zooming in, please reach out to me. Go on to online. We'll give you those URLs again, and you can get access and you can meet Zia Drone personally. So let's go back.
Dr. Valdez, sorry to interrupt, but Ellie has some great questions in the chat.
Awesome, Ellie. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Okay, first question from Ellie. Thank you. The question is can you compete more than once if you change your business plan considerably? Ellie, 100% yes. Okay. Now, if you
But do you?
Sorry.
I'm so sorry. But do you have to? Do you have to tweak your plan? Because what if the first time you didn't win, or you didn't get a very successful improvement in your business plan so that it was attractive? Do you have to compete twice?
I mean, if you do not win, so let's say you submit something, Ellie, and you don't win. You definitely can, quote unquote, recycle that business plan and further develop it and make it better. Absolutely. We encourage that. And we actually, it's funny you asked that because I actually was just contacted by a recent alumnus, and he's back for his third try. Okay, third try. And that's fine, right? You know what his response was when I asked him he's coming to the information session, Ellie, was just send me the list of mentors. It's my year. Okay, so absolutely, Ellie, you can totally do that. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I can help you with that. That last question you had, Ellie, was you feel you do not have that financial background, and so you're not sure if you can compete. Thank you for asking that question, because the answer is you 1000% should compete. And you should not let anything like it, any sort of limitation you feel hold you back. So let's talk about finance, because look, that scares me. That scares a lot of students. That scares a lot of business leaders. So let me tell you what we've done at Hawk Tank to help you out. We've partnered with Fort Lewis College's Beta Alpha Psi. Beta Alpha Psi is a National Honor Society of Finance and Accounting students. Not only is Beta Alpha Psi going to be participating and helping with the workshops, but Beta Alpha Psi has also committed to be your personal consultant. So not only will you have access to Mr. Gary Masner and his magic Excel spreadsheet to help your forecasting that Taylor Altman was referring to, but you will also have access to the top finance and accounting students at Fort Lewis College, I would say within the Four Corners area, to personally help you. We can assign a Beta Alpha Psi member to help you. And they're your consultants. They are not part of your team. You don't have to share your winnings when you win it all. And that's how we can help you out. So without a doubt, Ellie, yes, you should compete. And we have all the resources to help and support you to get you to that next level. Okay? Okay, next one. How hard is it to compete alone? Zeb did it. Taylor Altman did it. So we get lots of winners. I look at a bio student. She got second place. She did an industrial size solar dehydration system to make camping meals. Zero business background. Okay, was not a business student. Walked away with $2,500 because of her idea. How did that manifest itself? I think it's because of the resources and support that she had. She had no finance background, but she had the individuals to guide her down that path and support her. And that's what we have for you, Ellie. Okay, is that cool? Okay, so these are the winners for our college track. So if you're a San Juan College student, you're going to be competing against San Juan College students to start. You're a Fort Lewis College student, you're competing against Fort Lewis College students for $5,000, $2,500, and $1,000. And then the winners from both institutions will compete against each other for that additional $5,000. And that's what Zia Drone won last year in our inaugural year, competing together as well as against each other. Okay, $10,000. Our recent alumni track, one prize, winner take all, $5,000. We've had entertainment companies. We've had payment system companies, settle payment system company. They kind of wanted to reinvent the payment system for restaurants and bars. And so a lot of really cool ideas coming out of our recent alumni track. And then for those high school students, we got some big money for y'all. As a first place team, remember you got up to three members. If you win Hawk Tank High School, you can get up to $8,000 per year if you want to come join us here at Fort Lewis College. Actually, $2,000 per year for $8,000 for a total of $24,000 for a three-person winning team. We also have scholarships to San Juan College for those individuals that are interested in San Juan College, as well as cash awards for the high school team. Really, really cool. And going back a little bit to Ellie's question, going back to Zeb, going back to Taylor, we have a plethora of help for you. Okay? We have mentors. I'll come to your class. If you're you're at San Juan College, I'd love if your professor lets me into your class. I'd love to come, help, share, work with you. If you're a high school student, talk to your business teachers. Say, Dr. Valdez wants to come to our class. I do. Okay. Up into Piedra Vista, Farmington, Mancus, Cortez, Durango, Animas, Bayfield. I brought Taylor. Taylor's even come and helped me. So please reach out to us. We're definitely here to support that. We have a number of Hawk Tank workshops. We have Beta Alpha Psi. We have the Small Business Development Centers down at San Juan College, up here at Fort Lewis College, down actually now it's at our Center of Innovation. We have Scape. Unlimited resources, I like to consider it. We have buy-in from our student stakeholders, Beta Alpha Psi, which I mentioned. We also have BA 332, event management class, that's actually taking the lead and will be facilitating and taking care of all the operations of the day of competition on April 30th. Absolutely amazing the energy they bring to the competition, as well as to this high level of professionalism. Some of you may be asking, who are some of the judges? Who are actually going to critique this stuff? Are they legit? That's a great question. Zeb's shaking his head yes. So here are some of the judges. Okay. P.T. Woods, mayor of Salida, founder of Woods High Mountain Distillery, judge. We've had the controller of Scott Brewing. We've had both founders of Durango Gear Exchange. We've had the director of Region 9. We've had the president and multiple vice presidents from Southwest Bank. We've had founders, director of Scape. We had the COO of Swan Global Investment. We had the founders of Bison Star Naturals out of Taos. That's who wants to work with you. They want to help you take that next step. They want you to achieve your dreams. What about finals judges? Mark Daigle, at that time he was the president of First National Bank of Durango, now TBK Bank. Mark Katz, founder of or co-founder of Mercury Payment Systems, when they sold $1.6 billion company. Okay, Elizabeth Marsh, director of Scape, which is the Southwest Colorado Accelerator Program for Entrepreneurs. Allison Eichley, not Allison Morrissey, Allison Eichley was the LaPlata County Treasurer, elected official. John Walgamot, co-founder and chairman of Stone Age Tool, as well as a co-founder of Scape. That's who's going to be sort of in Hot Tank. That's who you're going to be presenting to if you make it to the second and final rounds. One of the things that really gets me excited are the mentors that have agreed and that have been working with students. Just the range of industries represented is absolutely mind-boggling. I'm just going to give you just a little taste. That's all this is a taste. Here are some of the mentors. Okay, we see some similarity in terms of organizations, but you want to start your own franchise. So you can't actually do a franchise like McDonald's or Rocky Mountain. But what if you have an idea and you want to actually start a franchise and selling franchises? Well, guess what? Just move this. We have a mentor that does that. Fort Lewis College grad, founded Pickup USA as a franchise. So if you have this idea and you think it's really franchisable, guess what? Hot Tank could be for you. What are some other great ones? Osprey Packs, Tom Barney, former president, loves, if you're thinking you have some outdoor gear, constantly supporting our students. Fort Lewis College's Center for Innovation is a member of Aero Center Studio G out of New Mexico State University. So we have access to all of their mentors. That you name the industry, you name the problem you have, Studio G probably exclusively can help us out there. And just by being part of Hot Tank and being part of Fort Lewis College family, and you San Juan College participants, hey, when you start Hot Tank, you're part of our family. Okay, so you also have access to Studio G. Honeyville, we had a student who her idea was making handmade custom soap. And the problem that she had was that she didn't know how to figure out how to scale it. How do you operate with enough efficiency so you can charge a price that people are willing to pay and still make a profit and not have to work 100 hours a week? She couldn't figure it out. I know nothing about soap. So what we do is we contacted the owners of Honeyville and said, hey, how do you do it? Within 24 hours, this Hawk Tank participant was sitting down with one of the owners of Honeyville. He was sharing his story, how they do it. And when she walked out, he said, I want to be your first customer once you have this sorted out. That's what Hawk Tank's about, okay? That's what this ecosystem we're creating. J-Bo's, Liz Cartier, Bo Malone, pardon me. We have Murdoch Maloney here in the house, but no, Bo Malone, okay? Absolutely, Bison Star Naturals again. So, and once again, this is just a taste. Okay? We use our foundations. We use our alumni network to really find that good fit for exactly what you're looking for. So that's what we have. In terms of our workshop facilitators, our main one is Gary Masner, and we have several, but Gary Masner is really kind of our main workshop facilitator. He's coming from Scape, like I said previously, and he has agreed to do a number of our workshops. San Juan College will be doing 2 workshops down in Farmington, and so they'll be bringing their legal business expert in the house. They'll be also running a finance workshop down there. These are individuals that have founded companies. They have founded accelerators. They are on board of directors of some of the biggest companies in this area. That's who you'll be working with. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit of this video, just real quick. This video should give you a little bit of the vibe of Hawk Tank and exactly what it feels like and what it kind of looks like to compete on that final day. On April 30th is when we'll have our finals here. They'll dovetail right into the gala, the celebration of Hawk Tank. And let me just show you this clip real quick, or at least a little bit of it. He actually won the recent alumni track, that one person, that one student. Initial goal was about 25 teams to participate in the competition. Teams can be up to 5 people, so we're probably looking at about 125 participants. My expectations from the word on the street is we're probably going to have those numbers are going to elevate considerably, and we're very excited.
We're hoping to get a good turnout and know that people can use the award money to put towards their new business.
I'm going to pitch a new vinyl cutting idea where I go to festivals and contract with musicians to cut vinyl records for them to sell at the concerts. So I'm going to pitch that.
Me and my friend, Dave Madrid, he's a rapper somewhere, are entering an outdoor accessory. It's basically a bag that holds your pockets to your pockets while you're doing any sort of outdoor activity.
We actually wanted to do a program. We wanted to have workshops so students can feel comfortable about certain things and we can train them how to write a business plan, how to do accounting, how to do marketing analysis, things of that nature.
We are thinking about creating a space for college artists to display their art. So a college art collective. I'm an art business major, so it's really hard because we're making all of this beautiful art in classes. And we have no idea what type of mediums, styles are even going to sell out there because we're still in school.
So who heard the value prop of it?
The value is that they're expanding the market for college students that otherwise wouldn't have maybe an appropriate space. It's going to get a lot of attention to get their artwork out there. Okay. I am Dr. Michael Valdez, and I'm the co-director of Hawk Tank, the Business Plan Competition. Are you willing to listen? Will you take ownership of their wisdom? Will you examine also yourself? Trust yourself that you're doing quality work. If you answered no to any of those, please do not move on from here.
Tough love.
You've got a great chance to get in there, build a business, build your beachhead marketplace, and grow from there. So a way for you to understand it, to be able to enunciate everything about it, really to be able to describe it, to really understand it very well, to have some feeling that it's a really good fit for your solution and your product, and then be able to put some numbers on it so you can begin to build some idea of how big an opportunity it is and what you're going to need to go after it, how to go after it.
It's a nice variety of business plans, and there's a few that I think are really pretty viable, pretty cool. The presentations are great. It's nice to see people thinking of ways to, do things on their own, do things a little differently, and it's been really entertaining and interesting.
Stage left.
Looks so young.
First place, 5,000, second place, 2,500, third place, 1,000. These guys, and, I want to say the drone guys, but probably the net guy.
My top three are the hunger, the fields to play and want to exchange.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a bunch of those stores. Yeah.
I know it's a really tough decision, and I appreciate you taking it seriously. That's really amazing.
I'd like to ask the two honorable mention teams to please stand up.
still gives me the chills. My goodness. Ellie had a question, and the question was, number one is there any cost to register? Is that Ellie? Hey, Ellie. Is there any cost to register? And there's zero cost. Okay. The only cost of Hawk Tank is your sweat equity. That's it. Right? Everything else, we are here to serve you. We are here to provide you with the resources. Okay, and that's really sort of what we're all about. The next question that Ellie had was, does she need to sort of anticipate any type of like investment in, maybe the business idea, maybe, to get prepared for the competition? And once again, I would say the answer is no. Right? I mean, the only thing I can think of where there might be some type of expense would be if you're interested in prototyping something. Now, what I would recommend on that is just do something really simplistic and free if you can. Because when I think about some of the past competitors and when they did that sort of thing, you might even like see like they use like staplers and masking tape. That's fine. Because really what you're trying to do is by doing that is just giving the judges something to touch, something maybe to smell, and just something to really get an idea of what your vision is. Now, we do have access to potential resources to help you with those very things. Let's say you want access to the makerspace. We have a makerspace in town as part of the powerhouse. We can talk to Dean Elias here at the School of Business to try to get you access. If you're interested in going down to San Juan College, we can work with Dean Rawlinson as well as Professor Sanders to see if you can get access down in their makerspace. And let me tell you, I've had a tour of the makerspace and it's amazing, like amazing. And we're talking laser tools, we're talking 3D printers. So we do have access to that also. So there should be zero impediment when it comes to financials in terms of money for this program. Okay. If you're running into that, please come and talk to me because I need to know about that so we can reduce that barrier, if not absolutely eliminate it. Okay. Money should not be a barrier to Hawk Tank. Okay. LA, is that good? Okay, cool. Awesome. So then what do you need now? You need these three things. You don't even need an idea. Okay? But these are things you do need to get through Hawk Tank, and I think to really get as much as possible out of Hawk Tank. Number one is, I know I said a good and creative idea. I just think is you just need to have a problem to solve. And that's when I think about the idea, that's really where I land. Now, many of you I know, because I've talked to you, probably already have great ideas. So you already have that. But if you don't, really just have a problem to solve. Because that's where it comes from, y'all. Right? That's where it comes from. Number two is you need to be curious. Okay? I have this problem. How do I solve it? One team I really think of when I think about this curiosity is a team that actually did not win Hawk Tank. But it is a team, when industry heard about their idea, my phone was ringing off the hook. The idea was this. And actually you saw a picture of him in the video. One of the participants, and I'm not sure if they were house builders or their family were house builders or if they just house building this summer, there's a real problem with drywall. And the problem with drywall is what do you do with it when you remove it? What do you do with it? Does it all just go to a landfill? Do they burn it? And for this team, those were all really unsatisfactory answers. So they had a problem. No solution, but they had a problem. And they had curiosity in spades. So what did they do? They went out there and just researched other research in academia at colleges and universities that are looking into that problem. And they found a paper that was written several years ago, and I believe it was out of Wisconsin, that actually some scientists had come up with a methodology to recycle drywall. And that was their business idea. And let me tell you, I mean, I want to say from the time that it was in the press, in the Durango Herald, to the time I received, I'll give you an example, you know, the head of Phoenix Recycling here in Durango called me up, said, Dr. Valdez, we need that. If we can make that viable, we'll do it. Because once again, the need and the pain is there. So this curiosity is a big one. Okay. And then lastly is just a willingness to learn, a willingness to reach out and ask for help. Because that's what Hawk Tank is all about. It is about a community coming together to help you learn, grow, solve a problem, and take your business to the next level. Because this truly is a community. All of those business logos have names and faces behind it that want you to succeed. All of those names have faces behind it that want you to succeed. All those individuals here, up here from San Juan College, here, standing in front of you, want you to succeed. That's what Hawk Tank is all about. And these three things are all you need. You don't need money. Okay. You don't need the perfect idea. Okay. That's what you don't need. Any questions, y'all? Anything else? Okay, cool. So in terms of the schedule moving forward, I highly recommend you check out fortlewis.edu/Hawk Tank or sanjuancollege.edu/Hawk Tank for all the information about all the tracks. Okay. What you see in red are what is absolutely required in order to win if you're a college student $10,000. You have to register by February 21st. You don't need an idea. You don't need money. You just need to register. That's it. Just tell us you're interested in competing. And that's all you have to tell me. Okay. Give me your contact information and I'll keep you in the loop and I'll be there to help you. You need to submit your business plan on March 28th. Okay. Oops, these dates are grossly wrong. The years are wrong. The dates are totally fine. Let me just fix this while I have it. So we don't have, and I'll post these slides for you all too. Okay, the final rounds, where you'll be really vying for the $10,000 is on April 30th. And that's also where we'll have the gala, or when we'll have the gala. And the gala will be here on campus. There's no money for the gala. You'll be sitting at a table of 8 with industry leaders, professors, and other participants. It gives you one more opportunity to develop your professionalism skills, interact with business leaders, and really hopefully give you that next step forward. What's here in white? What's in white are all these workshops to help you fill in those gaps. You want to know what a business plan is? Come next week on Thursday. You want a business model canvas? Come on Thursday. Well, we're going to teach you all of that stuff. We also have, you want to know, hey, how do I figure out what my market is? We have a workshop. How do I figure out how to forecast how much product or service I might be able to sell? We have a workshop. Ellie.
What time of day do you usually put these workshops
I
on?
love it. Great question. Our workshops all take place on Thursdays from 5 to 7 o'clock. All of the workshops, -2, will be at the Center for Innovation at the Main Street Mall in Durango. The other 2 workshops are going to be at San Juan College, and it's in the Sun's room.
Yes.
What was the number?
1019.
1019, and once again, that's all online.
1091.
1091. Okay, that's all online. And what's great is all of these workshops also have a Zoom option. So if you can't make it, don't want to drive down to San Juan College, not a problem. We got you sorted. Please.
Sorry, where did you say that would be in person?
It's going to be at the Center for Innovation at the Main Street Mall here in Durango. That's the bulk of them, but then there'll also be, 2 of them will be at San Juan College.
Okay.
And then once again, we'll Zoom everything. So if you can't make it, you don't feel comfortable, that's totally fine, okay? We do, so we're really sort of focusing on this hybrid approach. Any questions, y'all? Once again, for details,
Well, I noticed that you had 4 workshops before you even have to be required to register.
correct. Why is this not working now? Sorry. Correct. And the idea there is we're all about removing barriers. We're all about removing constraints. My recommendation is register right now. Register tonight. Register tomorrow morning. Okay, that's my recommendation. And if you come to me in 3 weeks and here's the Dr. Valdez, you know what? It's not working. That's fine. Okay, it's totally fine. So, but and once again, if you want to attend a workshop and not compete, please come. You want to invite a family member, invite them. You want to invite a community member, invite them. Share with them. Show them what awesome stuff you have access to because you're from Fort Lewis College and San Juan College. Okay, really, this is open to the entire community to come to workshops, but only students, only Fort Lewis College students, only San Juan College students, Fort Lewis College recent alumni, and our local high school students, regional high school students get to compete for money. But if you want to come, I mean, we've had Tom Barney come to a workshop. Okay, the individual that grew Osprey to what it was came because he was starting another company, wanted to learn business model canvas. And if you want to learn business model canvas, come here. Okay? So that's what we have. Ellie.
So you mentioned our local high schools. Are Animus and Big Picture both well aware of this?
Absolutely, they should be totally aware. We reached out to their counselors last week. I reached out to the teachers that I know. And so, but I mean, if you have other contacts there, Ellie, please pass on my name, give them my name, give their name to me, and I'll totally reach out to them. Please, absolutely.
In high school, contestants are only eligible for the $500 per member and $8,000.
Correct. Yep. And so there is some for the different tracks, there are different sort of amounts, and so that we don't. There's no scholarships, let's say, for the college tracks. But then for the high school track, there are thousands of dollars. Yeah, but you're correct.
My question was about the high school students and, let's see, formulated here.
Sure.
Do they also have the opportunity to have people on their team not in high school, or is it strictly high school students?
That's a great question, Professor Maloney. For the high school track, we're asking all to be high school students all within their high school. That's what we're asking.
I really have to go.
Okay, no problem. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how we design the high school track. And the idea behind that is we really want as many high school students as possible participating. We're really looking to engage with the high school teachers, and we really want to sort of, if we can, sort of make it part of their sort of curriculum. And that's sort of how we've done that. We're open to see how, I mean, we are always open for change. Why? Because we're entrepreneurs at heart, and we know we have to change. But right now, that's how we help. Great question. Anything else?
Down at San Juan College, we have San Juan High School.
The prep school.
So, yeah, so if students from high school and they're also going to the college.
They would do college track. Would be with what would they would do if they're concurrent, unless, and so for concurrent, that's a great question. Here's how we handle the concurrent students. If the concurrent student wants to compete in the high school track, then they have to follow the high school rules. If they're concurrent and they want to compete for the 10 grand, then guess what? They're registered Fort Lewis College, San Juan College students. The way you look at the rules, they're eligible. So that's how we sort of have articulated that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. I love that. I didn't think about that either. That's really smart.
I'll add one question.
Sure.
I've had.
Team Rolton?
We had a student contact me asking if they were remote only, could they compete?
Oh.
Well, I said because they were a student, yes.
The challenge though becomes is the finals
Correct.
are face to face.
Yep.
So that's where we run into problems.
That's where it'll be the pitch.
And we need them to come.
Yep.
So the question is, just to make sure we were loud enough, was some students are just taking purely online courses and they're not on campus. Can you compete? The answer is you can compete up to April 30th, because April 30th, if we are face-to-face, if they're hopefully, the pandemic doesn't make us shift online, then you are required to come and compete face-to-face. That's just, for our recent alumni, we've had individuals flying from Chicago, come up from Albuquerque, and they've competed remotely, attended workshops remotely, but then when they competed for that grand prize of $5,000, they had to be there. Thank you. Of course. Ellie.
It just slipped out of there. It's gonna come back.
Sure.
Oh, do you have any advice for, I don't know if there's anybody else who's super interested in participating, but doesn't know of anybody else who's interested in participating. It doesn't really have strong connections on campus.
Sure.
Any advice?
I love that question. That's a great question. So the question is from Ellie is, what if you're just I'm going to paraphrase and use my own little words here, is what if you're super excited about this? You don't really have an idea. You don't have a problem right now you want to solve, but you have those three things in spades we were talking about, right? We don't, we've tried this in the past where we've had kind of a virtual bulletin board where a student can put their, who they are, put maybe some bullet points in terms of their skills, maybe some things they're interested in. That did not work. So what I recommend is this for those individuals is reach out to me. Then what I will do is because I talk to most every single team. Then I will reach out to the teams and sort of start saying, hey, we have this individual. They have these skills. Are you interested in working with them? And that has been successful in the past.
Okay. Well, would you just, for my sake and those listening, flip it? What if you, I have this idea. I'm super excited. I want to explore it.
Oh, I love it.
As deep as I can.
Awesome.
But I guess I'm a little bit intimidated to compete alone.
Perfect. I love it. So Ellie's saying, Dr. Ben, let's flip it. Okay. So what if you have an awesome idea, but you're concerned that, hey, I just don't have the bandwidth to spend how much time I think I need to spend in order to make it happen. And I want to develop the skills of putting together a team, managing experts, right? Remember, Hot Take is about developing these professional skills. So here's what we do with that one. What we do with that one is you make an appointment, you come talk to me. We can do it virtually. We can do it in my office, EBH 150. And you tell me a little about your idea, whatever you can share. You tell me what your needs are, and then we will go out and blast campus looking for people to help you out. That's what I recommend. And then what we do is we can blast the entrepreneurship students individually. We can blast the School of Business students as a whole. And I think that's how we can manage that. We can even do a bulletin board. If you're like, hey, Dr. Valdez, I want to pilot a bulletin board for this. I'll create that for you. We got that. So absolutely, that's a great question. We can totally do that. Awesome. Anything else? Online? No? Okay. Thank you all. I know we went a little over because of the late start. But once again, if you need any information, you want to chat, please reach out to me. I really, really look forward to working with you. So thank you so much. Tomorrow night, we'll be at San Juan College. Thank you, Zeb. Thank you, Tyler, for joining us and sharing your experience. Thank you all that are here and have a great night.